It's time for the gaming community to take our guts back. Time for us to actually stop for a second, look at ourselves, and see how badly we're doing. With all these companies, what these companies are doing is atrocious. What they are doing to our games is bad. Campaigns half worked. Games launching halved. Like with, for example, Call of Duty World War II launching with half of its features in. They're still missing custom paint jobs in like 6 months into their game. Like what's up with that? That's not how you're supposed to do a game. All right, you're supposed to launch a game, everything in it packed and ready to go. If you want to make more content and charge for more content, fine. At least make it new. At least make it something worth it. Worth the extra $10 or $15. Don't go all the way to the Bungie and then have you charge you a $60 for a DLC. Now, in their case, it was somewhat worth it because the story added more lore and the story was actually fun to play. Okay, don't go that route though. Go the route that Dragon Ball FighterZ did. No microtransactions, no bull. You just get the game, you play the game, and that's it. And you can get the fighter pass if you want to get more fighters. But they're not necessary because they're not stupid, brokenly overpowered. Every character has a weakness, and every character can be beat, no matter what. And we have to go the way that 343 does it, and they have a lot of customer service. They regularly update their game. They on a regular basis. And sure, it may take them a little bit longer in some cases, but they engage with their community. They host tournaments. They dab it up with their freaking customers. Obviously, that's a meme. But it's still like they engage with their community. They don't have the blinders on, you feel me? They don't just see the money like EA does. They don't just see the profit that a game can make like Activision. They actually listen to their community, they update their game, and they try to make it better. They put the player first, and then the money second. Player first and the money second, and that's how it should be. And that, believe it or not, that is how it once was. That is what gaming once was. And not just that, but the story. The story was the cornerstone, the foundation, what built up the game, not a sales point. The reason why Call of Duty World War II sold so badly was not because the multiplayer was half work, which it was. It's because their story wasn't the foundation, wasn't the cornerstone. What it was a sales pitch. It's what got people interested. It sold the World War II-ish vibe. Every Call of Duty game now, same formula, except graphically different. Nothing necessarily changes between Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty World War II. Core gameplay is still the same type of objectives, nothing new. Sure, they may add a game mode here and there, or they might change like a few mechanics, like with Black Ops 2 and Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. They added the jetpack system, which was stupid and boring, but they did it anyway. That was something new, and that was actually the last time Call of Duty innovated. And even that is kind of iffy because they stole that from Titanfall. That was their rebuttal. That was their way of combating Titanfall. No, you don't just do that. You don't just innovate like that. You don't just keep the same formula and just keep piling on stupid stuff and then change it graphically to make it look different. That is what every Call of Duty game is, and anyone who supports Call of Duty World War II they have to be really, really oblivious to that. They just can't not see that. That's just not possible, okay? Now, story. Once upon a time, a story meant something, like Halo. Halo changed how games were received, alright? Halo was the thing that actually made Call of Duty Call of Duty. Call of Duty wouldn't be a thing without Halo. And with Halo 5, what we saw there was stupid. Campaign, plot points all over the place. The marketing team, it's like as if they didn't even talk to the actual campaign, the story writers. And the marketing team, they did a heck of a lot better than the actual writing team did. Not just that, but look at first that Destiny 1. Destiny 1's campaign, everybody knows it was stupid. Plot points everywhere. Nothing made sense. Look at Titanfall 1. As if you do have to go back and look at the lore and kind of piece it together, and then you can kind of understand it. It's still, no, you just don't do that. You just don't do it that way. Now, look at Titanfall 2. They heard their audience. They saw what they did wrong. And you know what they did? They fixed it. They had a single player campaign. As it was a little cliche, I'll admit it, it did have those cliche moments. But it was a good kind of cliche. And in this day and age, that's something that we need. That's something we need the gaming community to get the guts we once had. Kill characters off, brutally and violently. We need to have more solo missions. More missions where you see your teammates die in front of you and you still have to keep pushing forward. Where you see atrocities being committed in the game. And we just can't be scared of the left and SJW nonsense. We can't be afraid of having these campaigns. Even the Witcher series came under fire by the left because they didn't have a diverse campaign. Well, I'm sorry, but guess what? Those campaigns were fun. I don't care about the skin colors of the characters or actors. I care about how good of a job they do. I'm interested in the story writing. How fun is the game? I'm interested in having a fun time. Look at Modern Warfare 2. Tailed as one of the best Call of Duty games. Look at Black Ops 2, a good game with campaign. Look at all these games that we have. Transformers, War for Cybertron, great campaign. Fall of Cybertron, not as good as War for Cybertron, but still a good campaign. Look at everything. We can't just live in this shell where we're afraid to take risks, afraid to make something new, make something dark, make something gritty. We can't just live in that shell. We have to break out of that shell and achieve the greatness that we once had with Halo, with Call of Duty, with all these other franchises. We can't just live in fear of being politically correct every freaking time. It's dumb. I'm sick of it. The Act Man is sick of it. And a whole lot of other gamers are pissed about this. I'm done being played. Star Wars Battlefront 2's campaign was a gross campaign. It was stupid. It was really dumb. The plot twist wasn't convincing. The two members of Inferno Squad turning stupid, especially because they were born on Imperial worlds, trained by Imperials, and indoctrinated, and they believed wholeheartedly that the Empire was good and the Rebellion was bad, but they turned because the Empire decided to clash on planets as if it was Halo, which is in itself stupid. A, because the Empire is evil, yes, but they're not idiotic. That's not how games were supposed to be. I shouldn't even say supposed to be. That's just not how story writing is. You don't just stick with the cliches. You have to take risks. You have to have a strong cornerstone to build up your games. A game isn't a game without its story. That is a good motto for almost every game. Now, Overwatch is one of those games where it has an exception. Overwatch is an exception. Why? Because it's a fun game. It's a fun game with likable characters. We can't just live in that mentality where story mode is a thing of the past. Where a good campaign, good characters that you can get attached to, that can't be a thing of the past. Why? Because it's a good storytelling mechanic. In Destiny, you like to play as a hunter or a Titan or a Warlock because of the lore behind them and their abilities. A lot of people, like lore nerds, I don't even use nerds in a bad way, just lore people that look at the lore. They play those characters because they feel connected to them, because their ideology matches with their own. The reason why people like Master Chief so much is because he's a beast. He's a person that believes in the UNSC, believes in the cause, and he'll do what he thinks is right. He's not a drone. We look at ARC-Trooper 5s from the Star Wars universe. He's a free-thinking clone, something that you don't find in the clone army. He's even stated, I'm going to do what I think is right. A good soldier follows orders. Look at Obito from Naruto. What he said, all shinobi that don't follow orders are scum. But those who abandon their friends are even worse than scum. That's the type of mentality that we have to have. We have to have the gut to do something like that. All these games that we have, they're not living up to the mantle that we once had. They're just not. And it's not defendable. You just can't. You just can't. All right? Like, I'm sorry, but the last good, in my opinion, the last good campaign that we had was Titanfall 2, and that's in 2016. And in between that time, we've had a lot of releases. Battlefield 1, Call of Duty World War 2, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Destiny 2. And of course, I'm just talking about console titles. I don't play PC titles, but I don't expect anything to be necessarily different because that's the direction that gaming is going in. A dark, narrow path it is digging itself into a hole, and we're trying to bring them back out of it. But they just keep digging in and digging in and digging in that we can't get them out anymore. We just can't. I want to stay very positive for the future. I want to make that Star Wars Battlefront 3 talk video. I want to make that Titanfall 3 talk video. But when there's only a certain few companies that are trustworthy of really, really, really putting in the work and putting in the money, the effort to make a good campaign that makes sense, that is likable, and that is replayable over and over and over again, and that doesn't exploit the player blatantly for just money, it's hard for me to make that video. It's hard for me to make that what I want to see in Star Wars Battlefront 3 video, because I don't know what I want to see in it anymore. Because what EA has repeatedly showed me is that they only care about the money. They're not the player first. They're money first, player absolute last. We see this with Star Wars Battlefront 2 right now. Motive and Criterion have already left Star Wars Battlefront 2. It is just the DICE. And DICE is a good company. They want to give you good things. They want to give us that Clone Wars season. But they don't have the funds to do it. And they don't have the resources to patch up the bugs that we have in Star Wars Battlefront 2. And EA is going to pretty much abandon Star Wars Battlefront 2 if they don't sell well with the microtransactions that they put in. What kind of company does that show you that EA is? And that's just not even involving the case that they've already won the Worst Company in America award twice in a row. No, the gaming community needs to change. Not the community, the companies. They need to change. Respawn, 343, and DICE, in my eyes, are the only three good AAA companies left. And they're slowly having to come to terms with microtransactions and putting them in. Now, I'm not going to blame Respawn for putting microtransactions. Neither am I going to put DICE in that position either. Why? Because they're both being run by EA. They had to put them in. They just had to. They had to find a way how to make their games profitable. That's why I'm scared for Anthem. I'm terrified for Anthem. Because with their developers leaving, their lead artists leaving as well. Normally lead artists leave, yes, but they don't leave before the game is launched. They leave a few months at most before the game is launched. We're still a long time away from it. It's slated to come out in March of 2019. We're not even close to Anthem launching, and their lead artists left. A lot of their writers left too. What game did that happen to before? Destiny. Anthem might become Destiny. History will repeat itself if the gaming companies don't change. Anthem might be a flop. That's just the reality of it. No matter how good it looked at E3, it might flop. Just like how Star Wars Battlefront 2 did. It looked great at E3 and the months leading up to it. And it sucked. Anthem is in trouble. Star Wars Battlefront 3 is in trouble. I don't care if they even claim, oh, we're not working on Star Wars Battlefront 3. Yes, you are. You know you are. We know you're working on it. Don't lie to us. Titanfall 3 is in trouble. If these companies don't learn their lesson, and they don't get the balls that we once had, don't get the gut that we once had, we're not going to succeed. The gaming franchise, every franchise, is going to fall, and we're not going to be able to get back to where we once were. We're not going to see another Halo, a good Halo campaign. We're not going to see another type of survival game. Not another dark story. Not another story that actually made you think. Not another Star Wars story that was going to show you a different perspective. Or introduce a new character. We're not going to see that if companies keep on deciding to rehash something that we already have and give us cliche campaigns. We're not going to see a good multiplayer game. We're not going to see that Star Wars Battlefront 3 that we were supposed to have all those years ago. We're not going to see that type because all companies are thinking about now, with a lot of resources, it's just the money. It's just the money. That's all they're after. The best game that we could ever see isn't going to come. Period. We're not going to see that awesome Star Wars game with that awesome Halo game. We might see a great Halo game with Halo 6 and the other two supposedly games that they're working on. We could see that. Halo Wars 2 was fantastic. Undeniably, it was fantastic. But what happens to the day that 343 decides to go the way of the Bungie or EA? It's not going to be that hard. We already see Battle Royale taking up the throne. Now, I don't like Battle Royale, but I'm not going to diss on it. I'm not going to say, oh, Battle Royale sucks because I don't like it. I can't just ignore the success that Fortnite and PUBG have because they're new. They actually innovated. They did something that wasn't seen really outside of Minecraft, and they did it even better. That is something smart. Battle Royale is something that you will play with your friends. I can't play by myself. I find it boring. But when I play with my friends, I have a blast. I really do. All right. We can't just take Battle Royale and put it in every game and use that as a sales point and just forget everything else. No, I can already see it happening to Black Ops 4. I honestly can. I wouldn't even be surprised that at E3 or whenever they're revealing Black Ops 4 that they just said, oh yeah, it's just going to have Battle Royale. I wouldn't even be surprised. Because that's how lazy Call of Duty is. And soon the gaming community, if they see Black Ops 4 success, they're just going to follow that. That's just undeniable. When a company sees another company doing well, they're going to forget their own traditions and just follow down the rabbit hole. They're going to follow the leader, even if the leader is leading them down to a dark path that there's no escape from. That's my little talk. I don't know what I'm going to name this video, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a comment if you disagree or if you agree. Please share if you see fit. Please subscribe if you see fit. It does help me out. Lets me know that people are, watching my content. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.